Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In a world that is constantly trying to dictate how we should feel, think, and act, it is difficult to imagine what it would be like to have the ability to find inner peace and happiness regardless of the circumstances that are occurring around you. That is nothing short of revolutionary. It is not just powerful. This is not about taking control of the world, rather, it is about taking control of something that is significantly more significant and completely within our reach, our own minds. Stoicism teaches us how to be resilient, to be grateful, and to master the art of living a life that is fulfilled. This is not merely a lesson in history, rather, it is about you and the life you are living right now. To be able to face the chaos that exists in our modern world without losing your composure is the goal. Finding peace in the midst of chaos and joy in the most mundane of activities are the goals of this endeavor. To transform your mornings from something you dread into a powerful launch pad for a day filled with purpose and joy is the goal of this transformation. Therefore, if you have ever experienced feelings of being overpowered by the noise of life, struggled to find a moment of peace, or are simply curious about how ancient wisdom can be your secret weapon in the 21st century, then you should certainly continue reading. Number 1. Find your ikigai, discovering purpose in every morning. It's possible that this video will be the one that completely transforms your life. In this lesson, we will delve into the Stoic strategies that can assist us in developing not only a morning routine but also a life that is characterized by intention, resilience, and genuine happiness. I beg you to spend the entirety of your attention on this video, from the very beginning to the very end. If you've made it this far, you obviously aren't like the other people here. As someone who seeks both depth and wisdom, you stand out from the crowd. Your unwavering commitment to absorbing all of this information in its entirety sets you apart even further. Although it may appear to be a complicated term, the concept of ikigai, which originates in Japan, is actually quite straightforward and easy to understand. Discovering that sweet spot where your passions, skills, societal needs, and what you can be paid for all intersect is the goal of this endeavor. For you, it is the one and only reason you exist. If you were to wake up every morning, you would be fueled by a clear purpose that excites you, something that would make the thought of hitting the snooze button irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius was not simply concerned with enduring the challenges that life presents with a stiff upper lip, rather. He was deeply invested in the concept that each of us stands here to play our part and to make a contribution that is significant. It was his strong recommendation that we view each day as an opportunity to carry out our responsibilities with honesty and enthusiasm. Take into consideration that in the context of ikigai from now on, finding something that you are passionate about is not enough. You also need to make sure that it is in line with what the world requires and what you are good at. Because that is where the magic takes place. How exactly do you get started on discovering your ikigai? It starts with some self-reflection on your part. Ask yourself, what is it that I am most enthusiastic about? In what areas do I excel? What is it that the world requires from me? In what ways can I be compensated? The fact that the answers do not come to you immediately is not a problem. The journey, the exploration of various aspects of your life and interests, and the discovery of the points at which they align are all important aspects of this. This search for your ikigai is not merely a fluffy exercise that makes you feel good physically. It's about laying the groundwork for a life that's full of meaning and satisfaction in abundance. It is possible to imbue even the most mundane of tasks with significance when you align your daily actions with your deeper purpose. Your relationships begin to flourish as a result of your increased presence and engagement in the world. Your creativity soars because you are in sync with the things that you are truly passionate about. In addition, happiness becomes more of a constant companion than a fleeting visitor as time goes on. Take into consideration what ikigai means to you as you contemplate the possibility of setting your alarm for the morning of tomorrow. How could something be so compelling that it would cause you to jump out of bed and be eager to begin the day? Keep in mind that this is not a transformation that takes place overnight, rather, it is a process, a gradual unfolding. It is also important to remember that, as Marcus Aurelius would remind us, it is about performing the work day by day with honor and dedication. Being able to find your ikigai is not just about achieving personal fulfillment, it is also about accepting your place in the larger tapestry of life and adding your own distinctive thread to the ever-changing narrative of the human experience. Number 2. Prepare the night before setting the stage for success. These ancient Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, emphasized that our actions should be purposeful, not just random acts thrown into the wind, but rather deliberate steps guided by our inner compass. They believed that our actions should be purposeful. When we begin our preparations for the day ahead, beginning the night before, this philosophy extends beautifully into how we spend our time. Here's the deal: the way you spend your evening plays a significant role in determining the quality of your morning. It is tempting to watch your favorite series in a single sitting until the wee hours of the morning, or to scroll through social media until your eyes become blurry. But let's take a moment to think about how this will affect your ability to function the following day. The events of the day need to be processed, and your brain needs time to relax and recharge so that it can be ready for what lies ahead. This is where a reliable routine to follow before going to bed comes into play. Just for a moment, try to picture yourself treating your evening routine with the same level of reverence and commitment that you would any other significant activity in your life. This is not about strict self-discipline that robs you of the joy that your evenings have to offer, rather. It is about creating a space that is conducive to your well-being and is in line with the objectives that you have set for the following day. By limiting your time spent in front of electronic screens 1 hour before going to bed, for example, you are not denying yourself the opportunity to relax. Rather, you are sending a signal to your mind that it is time to wind down, which will make it simpler for you to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. The act of making some preparations for the following day can also be a game changer. One way to accomplish this could be as easy as writing down your top 3 priorities for the following day. Simply carrying out this action will establish a distinct path, ensuring that you will awaken with a sense of purpose. The Stoic mindset is characterized by the practice of recognizing what is under our control and letting go of what is not under our control. This is where it truly shines. It is possible that we are unable to control every aspect of our day, but we certainly have the ability to have an impact on how we begin it. For the purpose of calming the mind, let us not overlook the practice of meditation or deep breathing. This practice is not merely a waste of time, rather, it is a potent instrument that sends a message to your body that it is time to rest. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly is an effective method for reducing stress, lowering your heart rate, and getting your body ready for a restorative, extended period of sleep. One could say that it is similar to pressing the reset button, as it guarantees that you will awaken not only physically refreshed but also mentally and emotionally refreshed. Number 3. Avoid morning distractions, embracing serenity. This may seem like a Herculean task in today's world, where everything is always on, but it is absolutely necessary for establishing the tone for the rest of your day. Imagine for a moment that the first few minutes of your morning are free from the distractions of the digital world, such as the clamor of emails, the notifications from social media, or the buzzing news cycle. Only you, your thoughts, and the peaceful silence of the dawn are present in this moment. It is not only invigorating, but also empowering to hear that. Throughout his life, Marcus Aurelius was a staunch supporter of living with intention and concentration. Despite the fact that he had his fair share of distractions, he was not distracted by the notifications that were appearing in ancient Rome. Instead, he emphasized the significance of focusing one's attention on the task at hand and the happenings of the present moment. He was aware of something that is perhaps even more pertinent in the modern era: the quality of your attention is what determines the quality of your life. In light of this, how can we put this ancient knowledge to use in the modern era? To begin, it is necessary to establish a morning environment that is purposefully devoid of any sources of digital distraction. No, this is not about avoiding technology, rather. It is about making the conscious decision to not let it determine how you begin your day. When you roll over and immediately check your phone, it is tempting to do so. However, doing so immediately puts you in a reactive state, where you are responding to the demands and dramas that are occurring in the outside world. On the other hand, you should give yourself the gift of a calm beginning. Just for a moment, try to picture yourself devoting the first hour of your day to pursuits that not only sharpen your mind but also nourish your spirit. There are many ways to relax, such as reading, meditating, keeping a journal, or even just sitting with a cup of coffee and looking out the window. You are not squandering your time, rather, you are making an investment in your health. Not only are you avoiding stress when you avoid distractions, but you are also actively creating a reservoir of peace and focus that you will draw from throughout the day. If you want to make the most of your mornings, you shouldn't add more things to your list of things to do, rather. You should eliminate the disturbances that aren't beneficial to you. When the demands of the day begin to pull at your attention, it is important to prioritize the things that are truly important to you. In situations like these, the Stoic practice of concentrating on the things that are under your control comes into play. Although it is possible that you will not be able to control the flood of emails that are waiting for you, you do have the ability to control how and when you choose to interact with them. Therefore, tomorrow, set a goal for yourself to begin the day according to your own terms. First thing in the morning, fight the urge to dive headfirst into the digital world. Instead, make sure that you are firmly rooted in the here and now, and take pleasure in the tranquility and opportunities that the morning brings. One should always keep in mind that each day presents a fresh opportunity to live a life that is more purposeful, more peaceful, and more in line with the person you aspire to be. Let us make our mornings a demonstration of that aspiration, guided by the ageless wisdom of Stoicism and a steadfast concentration on the things that are truly important. Number 4. Wake up consistently. The power of routine. At its core, Stoicism is about gaining an understanding of what aspects of our lives are under our control and then acting with virtue and intention in those areas. The philosophers Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus were not simply referring to the concept of maintaining a stiff upper lip while enduring the challenges that life presents. The proactive engagement with life, taking responsibility for our actions and our mindset, was the message that they were trying to convey. One of the practices that exemplifies this philosophy is getting up at the same time every day. It is a proclamation that we know how to begin our day, that we are not at the mercy of whims or pressures from the outside world, and that we are in control of how we begin our day. It is a powerful idea to construct one's life in the manner that Stoicism recommends, step by step, with contentment throughout each action. This serves as a reminder that even the most significant changes begin with the smallest, most consistent actions. The practice of getting up at the same time every morning may appear to be a trivial matter, however. It is a fundamental routine that lays the groundwork for everything else within your life. It is about establishing a solid basis for your day, one in which you are not in a hurry from the moment you open your eyes, but rather beginning with a feeling of command and a sense of purpose. However, here's the thing: maintaining consistency can be difficult. The way it is supposed to be. It may feel like an uphill battle in the beginning when you are trying to wake up at the same time every morning on a consistent basis. Despite the fact that your bed is more comfortable than it has ever been, you may find it difficult to resist the urge to hit the snooze button just one more time. This is where the Stoic virtue of perseverance comes into play during this time. It is important to remind yourself of the reasons you are engaging in this activity and the person you are developing as a result of this discipline. This is about looking beyond the comfort that you are experiencing right now and concentrating on the long-term advantages that this routine will bring into your life. Therefore, becoming a morning person is not solely about the mornings themselves for the individual. Throughout the course of your day, it is important to put into practice the characteristics that make you resilient, focused, and intentional. A practice in self-mastery, in aligning your actions with your values, and in cultivating the kind of life you want to live, one morning at a time, is what this is all about. With that in mind, how can we make consistency our ally? The first step is to establish a crystal clear intention the night before. You should remind yourself of the reasons why it is important to wake up at a particular time. Is it to have more time to focus on reading or meditation in the morning when there is less noise? Does it involve working out? Or is it simply about beginning your day in a manner that is more relaxed and under control? After that, establish a setting that encourages and upholds this routine. Perhaps you should try going to bed a little bit earlier in order to guarantee that you get enough sleep. Or you could try keeping your curtains slightly open in order to allow the natural light to gently wake you up. When things get difficult, it is important to keep in mind the Stoic belief that we have the power to control our own will, and that it is essential to act in accordance with our principles. When you wake up at the time that you have chosen for yourself, you are not only beginning your day, you are also reaffirming your commitment to yourself, to your own personal development, and to leading a life that is guided by intention and purpose. Number 5. Take it easy embracing self-compassion. In spite of all the talk about being disciplined, being consistent, and getting up with the sun, it is of the utmost importance to keep in mind that we are human by nature. However, the fact that we are human means that we are exquisitely complex creatures with brains that frequently favor the path of least resistance, which is the route that leads to instant gratification. It is precisely for this reason that establishing new routines, such as altering our morning routines, can initially feel like an uphill battle. Nevertheless, there is a tremendous sense of liberation that comes from acknowledging this fact. No, it is not a defect. It's just something that happens to people in general. At this point, let's incorporate some Stoic philosophy into this idea. In addition to its calls for self-discipline and resiliency, Stoicism teaches us the significance of self-compassion and understanding. In the writings that he kept for himself, Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself to be patient and forgiving with his own shortcomings. He was well aware that berating oneself for every mistake was not the way to foster personal development. Instead, he advocated for learning from our mistakes, acknowledging them, and then letting them go after we have learned from them. This strategy is essential when we are attempting to establish new morning routines or any other habit, for that matter. The first few days or even weeks can be challenging for some people. As soon as your alarm goes off, you feel an overwhelming desire to remain ensconced in the comfort of your bed. And if we are being completely honest, there will be times when you will give in to that desire. That is all right. What comes next is how important it is. Instead of berating yourself and falling into a vicious cycle of self-criticism and guilt, do you take a deep breath, forgive yourself, and look at the next morning as a new chance to give it another shot. These are not signs of weakness, rather, they are indicators of strength and wisdom. Forgiveness and patience with ourselves are not signs of weakness. They signify that we are committed to this endeavor for the long haul and are prepared to handle the highs and lows with poise. The Stoic practice of self-compassion involves gaining an understanding of our nature, cooperating with it, and subtly guiding ourselves toward the behaviors and lifestyle that we aspire to have. To add insult to injury, taking it easy does not mean that we should make excuses or permit ourselves to consistently fall short of our objectives. To understand that growth is a process that is full of learning curves and setbacks is the key to understanding this concept. Understanding that each new day brings with it a new set of challenges and opportunities is essential, as it is in this daily renewal that we discover our strength and resilience. That is what it means to have this understanding. Therefore, as you work toward embracing those early mornings or any new habit, it is important to remember to be gentle with yourself, to celebrate the small victories, to learn from the failures, and to approach each day with a heart that is ready to try again. Developing a mindset that is ready to face the challenges that life throws at you with a combination of determination and kindness is not the only thing that is involved in this process. It is also about becoming a morning person. Number 6, put your discipline into practice in the smallest of things. Just think about how easy it would be to move your alarm clock to the opposite side of the room. It is not simply a matter of making it more difficult to sleep physically, rather. It is a fashion statement. A commitment to begin the day on your own terms, to rise despite the comfort of the embrace of the bed, is what it means to start the day. An act of defense against the inertia of sleep and comfort. It is a step toward embracing the day with intention. It is a small act of defense. In a similar vein, making your bed every morning might appear to be a pointless task, particularly if you are the only person who will be the recipient of your attention. However, there is a great deal more to it than just fluffing pillows and smoothing out sheets. Taking care of yourself and reminding yourself that the environment you are in and the way you interact with it is important is an exercise in care. Creating a space that reflects the order and respect that you are cultivating within yourself is the goal here. These seemingly insignificant victories, as Marcus Aurelius would probably argue, are the fundamental elements that constitute a life that is disciplined. It is the choices we make on a daily basis that, despite being easy to overlook, cumulatively shape who we are as individuals. Every time you make a decision to engage in these seemingly insignificant activities, you are essentially voting for the kind of person you want to be. You have made the decision to identify as someone who places a high value on self-discipline, order, and respect for both oneself and one's surroundings. However, why should we concentrate on these insignificant actions? Due to the fact that they are accessible to everyone. Some of us are unable to exert control over the significant occurrences in our lives, the upheavals, and the unexpected turns. However, we have the ability to control how we react to the beginning of each day, how we interact with the people and things in our immediate environment, and how we prepare ourselves for whatever lies ahead. This is an example of Stoicism in action, concentrating on the things that are within our control and letting go of the things that are not. Furthermore, the purpose of these practices is not simply to develop discipline for the sake of developing discipline. Rather, they are to cultivate a mindset that is ready to face the more significant challenges that life presents. In the event that you are able to commit to these relatively minor acts of self-control, you are preparing yourself to fulfill your commitments in regards to more significant matters. You are honing your capacity to follow through, to maintain composure in the face of adversity, and to approach life with a calm and collected demeanor, all of which are characteristics that define the Stoic ideal. So, as you contemplate the function that discipline plays in your life, begin with a small step. Take advantage of the opportunities that arise in your daily life to exercise self-control and order. It is important to keep in mind that the moments that you choose to rise and face the day with intention are the ones that shape your character. These moments occur in the peacefulness of the morning. These practices are not merely chores or tasks, rather, they are rituals that infuse your day with a sense of purpose and give your life a sense of direction and meaning. Number 7. Accountability partners sharing the journey. The idea behind this is straightforward, but it has a profound impact if you share your objectives with someone who not only encourages you but also holds you accountable. You can significantly increase the likelihood that you will achieve them. In this way, a personal journey is transformed into a shared adventure, which makes the journey toward fulfilling your morning routine and ultimately your life's purpose less intimidating and more enjoyable. In the process of working towards self-improvement, you should consider your accountability partner to be an ally. It is the responsibility of this individual to remind you of your obligations in the early hours of the morning, when the coziness of your bed may make it difficult for you to leave. They are there to cheer you on when it seems like progress is moving slowly and to celebrate your victories, no matter how insignificant they may seem. This is a relationship that goes in both directions. It is about providing support and encouragement to one another, with the foundation being the realization that we are all working toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, frequently emphasize the significance of community and relationships in the process of developing one's character and virtue. They believed in the wisdom that could be shared, in the ability to learn from one another, and in the power that can be gained from the realization that one is not alone in the struggles that they are experiencing. Despite the fact that the path to self-discipline and purpose is a personal one, it is important to recognize that finding an accountability partner in today's world is a nod to this ageless wisdom. It does not have to be done alone. In addition, having a partner who holds you accountable can assist you in recognizing blind spots in your routine or approach that you might overlook if you just do it by yourself. They have the potential to provide fresh viewpoints and insights that can stimulate your development in ways that weren't anticipated. This partnership is about more than just checking in to see if you woke up on time or followed through on your morning meditation. It's about engaging in meaningful dialogue about what's working, what isn't, and how you can both support each other in making adjustments. What are the steps you take to locate this accountability partner? Find someone who is committed to the same things you are, which is growth and improvement of yourself. It is possible that this person is a friend, a member of the family, or even a coworker. The most important thing is to pick someone you can rely on, someone with whom you can express your aspirations, challenges, and achievements in an open and authentic manner. When you have found that person, it is important to be clear about what it is that you want to accomplish and the kind of support that you require. Make sure to check in with each other on a regular basis and be there for each other, providing words of encouragement, sound advice, and if necessary, a gentle prod to get back on track. It is important to keep in mind that finding a partner who can hold you accountable is about more than just gathering external motivation. It is about constructing a relationship that motivates and encourages both of you. It is about cultivating an environment in which openness, vulnerability, and support for one another are valued and fostered among individuals. Your morning routines and your larger life goals will become intertwined in this space as part of a collective effort to live a life that is more intentional, more disciplined, and more fulfilling. Number 8, always keep death in mind. When we engage in the Stoic practice of contemplating our own mortality, we are prompted to live our lives with purpose and intention. This is a call to action. This serves as a reminder to us that we should not waste our time on insignificant matters, but rather focus on leaving behind a legacy that is significant. As soon as we open our eyes in the morning, we are given a new chance to interact with life in a manner that is significant, to make a positive contribution to the world that surrounds us, and to pursue personal development and fulfillment. Within the pages of his collection of writings known as Meditations, Marcus Aurelius frequently discussed the ephemeral quality of life, highlighting the significance of leading a moral life and making the most of the time we have. This was not intended to be a depressing realization, rather, it was a liberating realization that freed him from petty concerns and allowed him to concentrate on his responsibilities as emperor and as a human being who was striving for virtue. The idea is that if we keep the end in mind, we will be more likely to live our lives with purpose and clarity, giving priority to the things and relationships that are truly important to us. The way we approach each day as a result of remembering death in the context of our morning routines is fundamentally altered. This day is not just another day, it is a day that we have been given, and it is a day that no one can be sure will come their way. This realization has the potential to have a significant impact on the ways in which we choose to spend our time, the activities that we participate in, the relationships that we cultivate, and the legacy that we work hard to establish. As a reminder, it is important to live life to the fullest, to love deeply, and to leave the world a little bit better than we found it. Furthermore, this Stoic practice assists us in maintaining perspective in the face of the inevitable difficulties and setbacks that are to be encountered in life. When we keep in mind that our time is limited the hassles and challenges that we face on a daily basis lose a significant amount of their influence over us. We become more resilient, increase our focus on our long-term goals, and decrease the likelihood that we will be derailed by difficulties that are only temporary. One of the benefits of this practice is that it encourages us to be grateful for the moment we are in and motivates us to make the most of it. In light of this, what are some ways that we can apply this Stoic principle in our everyday lives? Starting each day with a brief period of introspection is the first step. Imagine that the day that lies ahead of you is a blank canvas, an opportunity to make a positive contribution to the narrative of your life and to the lives of those around you. Try to answer the following question: if today were my last day, would I be pleased with the way I've chosen to spend it? This does not mean that one should always be in a state of existential crisis. Rather, it means that one should seek to cultivate a profound appreciation for the present moment, for the opportunity to live, learn, and love. Through the adoption of the Stoic practice of remembering death, we shift our attention away from the end and toward the here and now, as well as the way in which we choose to live each day. Additionally, it serves as a powerful reminder to live our lives with intention, purpose, and gratitude, which is a powerful antidote to complacency. Therefore, let us begin each day with the understanding that it is a gift, an opportunity to create a life that is abundant in significance and in accordance with our most fundamental principles. This is the essence of living a Stoic life, which is creating a legacy that will last for generations to come by making the most of the limited time we have in this world. Number 9. Practice negative visualization preparing for challenges. In order to bring success and happiness into our lives, we are frequently instructed to concentrate on the positive and to visualize them existing in our minds. On the other hand, the Stoics, in their profound wisdom, provide an alternative viewpoint that is not only useful but also extraordinary in terms of its ability to empower individuals' negative visualization. The practice of negative visualization is not about pessimism. Rather, it is a tool for building resilience, getting ready, and ultimately developing a deeper appreciation for the here and now. One of the most important aspects of this practice is to periodically visualize the challenges, losses, or difficulties that you might encounter in your life. The consequences of this could range from relatively minor annoyances, such as missing a bus or having to endure a rainy day, to more significant challenges, such as the loss of a loved one or a job. The objective is not to dwell on these scenarios in a manner that inspires fear or anxiety. Rather, the purpose is to mentally practice how you would respond to situations of this nature in the event that they occur. By preparing you mentally and emotionally through the process of visualization, you will be less likely to be thrown off course by the inevitable ups and downs that are a part of life. The ancient Greek philosophers Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all held the belief that we could cultivate a more profound sense of peace and resilience by reflecting on the transient nature of everything that is beyond our control. Focusing on what we are able to control, namely, our responses, our attitudes, and our actions, is something that this practice encourages us to do. When you incorporate negative visualization into your morning routine, it has the potential to completely change the way you approach your day. As an alternative to going out the door without being aware of the potential difficulties that lie ahead, on a mental level, you are prepared to confront them. It's almost like a mental workout in which you work on strengthening your resilience muscles so that you can keep your composure in the face of the inevitable challenges that life will throw your way. This moment has already been practiced in your head, and you are able to draw upon the strategies that you have already visualized in order to successfully navigate through it. Furthermore, this practice has an effect that is pleasing to the eye and somewhat contradictory. The gratitude we feel for the here and now is increased as a result. We are able to return to the present with a heightened appreciation for the things that we take for granted when we imagine what life would be like if we did not have certain things. It is a timely reminder of the many things for which we have reason to be grateful right now, in this very moment. The purpose of this is not to wallow in the fear of loss. Rather, It is to make use of the thought of it in order to increase our appreciation for the here and now. So how can we engage in the practice of negative visualization in a way that is both healthy and constructive? When you wake up in the morning, take a few moments to think about the potential difficulties that may arise throughout the day or the broader possibilities that lie ahead. Visualize how you would respond in an ideal situation, what strengths you would draw upon, what lessons you could learn, and how you could grow as a result of the experience. The next step is to let go of the visualization and continue with your day, bringing with you a sense of preparedness and an enhanced appreciation for the circumstances that you are currently facing. Number 10. End with gratitude, reflecting on the day's gifts. When we make gratitude a regular part of our lives, particularly as we wind down for the day, it has the potential to have a profound effect on our overall well-being and perspective. The cultivation of this sense of appreciation can be accomplished in a way that is both incredibly straightforward and profoundly effective by keeping a gratitude journal. Before going to bed, it is important to take a few moments to think about the day and write down a few things that we are thankful for. A kind act from a stranger, a breathtaking sunset, the successful completion of a difficult task, or even just the comfort of our bed, waiting to embrace us at the end of a long day, are all examples of things that could fall into this category. The simple act of writing down the things for which we are thankful diverts our attention away from the things that are lacking in our lives and toward the abundance that is already present. Stoic teachings, which emphasize focusing on what we have rather than what we don't, on what is within our control rather than what isn't, that are perfectly aligned with this practice, which is a practice that aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings. Not only does this shift in perspective clear the way for a restful night's sleep, free from the turmoil of unfulfilled desires or lingering frustrations, but it also prepares our minds to start the next day with a sense of purpose and appreciation for what we have in our lives. On the other hand, why should one end the day with gratitude? The reason for this is that it enables us to end our day on a positive note, regardless of the difficulties that we may have encountered throughout the day. Reaffirming the positive aspects of our lives, discovering peace even in the midst of chaos, and cultivating a mindset that recognizes opportunities for personal development and happiness in every situation are all possible through this practice. Not only does this nightly practice of gratitude have an effect on how we sleep, but it also has an effect on how we wake up and how we approach our mornings. As a result, our initial thoughts of the day shift from groans over the alarm clock to a quiet anticipation of what the new day has in store for us, as well as the new things that we might find to be thankful for. Furthermore, the act of practicing gratitude for our lives extends beyond the confines of our own personal sphere. By becoming more attuned to the value of those around us and more expressive of our appreciation for their presence in our lives, it strengthens the relationships that we have with one another. As a result, our connection to the world is strengthened because we become more aware of and grateful for the beauty and wonder that is all around us, even in the most ordinary of situations. At the same time that we are contemplating the myriad of methods that can enhance our mornings and, consequently, our lives, let us not overlook the significance of concluding each day with emotions of gratitude. It is a practice that exemplifies the Stoic pursuit of a good life, which is characterized not by external accomplishments or material possessions, but rather by inner peace, contentment, and a profound appreciation for the moment that is currently being experienced. As we come to the end of this journey through the 10 Stoic strategies, it is abundantly clear that each step, each practice, is more than just a task, rather. It is a pathway to cultivating a life that is characterized by intention, resilience, and profound gratitude. The adoption of these practices does not guarantee that each and every day will be flawless, however. It does guarantee that each and every day will end with you being more powerful, more grateful, and more resilient. You have the ability to transform not only your mornings but also your entire life into a reflection of the Stoic ideals of virtue, wisdom, and contentment. There is no limit to the power that lies within you. Always keep in mind that this is just the beginning. You are about to embark on a journey that will lead you to a life that is richer in meaning and more satisfying, and there is a vast world of Stoic wisdom just waiting to be discovered and explored. In the event that you have found this journey to be enlightening and are interested in delving further into the Stoic way of life, I strongly suggest that you check out our playlist that is currently displayed on the screen. You will be able to appreciate the full depth of Stoic philosophy with the help of this book, which is packed with stories, insights, and practical advice. In order to access additional content, make sure to give the channel a like and subscribe to it. I would appreciate it if you could share all of your experiences in comments. Together, let us set out on this amazing adventure of personal development, resiliency, and fulfillment. Greetings, and here's to mornings that are packed with meaning, days that are lived with purpose, and a life that is brimming with gratitude. We appreciate your participation in the community that is the Stoic Thinking. How are you doing?